When Bernard Arnault enters the private dining room at Hotel Plaza Athénée in Paris, something extraordinary happens. The sommelier does not ask what he prefers. The maître does not check his reservation. Every staff member already knows exactly how he takes his coffee, which table he favors, and that his meetings are never to be interrupted. This is not about his net worth of $200 billion. This is about something far more powerful, the unspoken codes that separate those who belong from those who are merely visiting. You have probably noticed that in restaurants where reservations require months of waiting, some men never need to show identification or credit cards to receive royal treatment, while others flash expensive watches and designer labels, yet still get treated like tourists. The difference is not money. The difference is mastery of 12 specific rules that transform how the world perceives, serves, and remembers you. Have you ever wondered why some men command attention the moment they walk into a room, while others remain invisible, even wearing the most expensive suits? The answer lies in understanding what true power actually looks like. Real power whispers. Real power never announces itself. Real power is recognized instantly by those who matter most. These 12 golden rules are not suggestions for men who want to appear successful. They are requirements for men who intend to be treated as indispensable. When you master these rules, something remarkable happens. People stop questioning whether you belong in exclusive environments. They assume you do. Rule 1. Command space with aristocratic posture. Watch how Pierce Brosnan carries himself in any James Bond film, and you will understand the difference between standing and commanding space. His posture communicates something that transcends acting, the absolute certainty that he belongs wherever he chooses to be. This is not coincidence. This is the result of understanding that your body is your first and most powerful statement of authority. But here is what separates aristocratic posture from military rigidity, effortless sophistication. When you enter the private members club at the Ned in London, notice how the established members carry themselves. Shoulders naturally back, but relaxed. Chin parallel to the floor, but not elevated with arrogance. Weight distributed evenly, creating a foundation of unshakable stability. The moment you master this presence, something shifts in every interaction. Concierges at five-star hotels approach you with immediate deference. Business associates subconsciously defer to your opinions. Social conversations naturally center around you, not because you demand attention, but because your presence commands it. Elite posture incorporates poise that signals breeding, education, and an inherited understanding of how power moves through the world. Your feet should be positioned with the natural confidence of someone who has never questioned their right to occupy premium space. Yet posture without the right vocal authority is like wearing a perfect suit with the wrong shoes. You need the second rule, and this one determines whether people remember your words or forget them instantly. Have you ever noticed how some men speak once and everyone listens, while others repeat themselves constantly, yet no one pays attention? Rule 2. Develop the voice that opens doors. When George Clooney speaks at the Venice Film Festival, something fascinating happens. Conversations pause, heads turn, not because of his celebrity status, but because of how he uses his voice as an instrument of influence. Research shows that men with deeper, more measured vocal patterns are immediately categorized as more authoritative, more intelligent, and more deserving of respect. But this goes beyond simple vocal pitch. Elite men understand pacing as a weapon of persuasion. They speak slowly enough that every word carries weight, yet never so slowly that attention wanes. They use strategic pauses not as hesitation, but as emphasis. They lower their voice when making their most important points, forcing others to lean in and listen more carefully. Here is the secret that separates sophisticated speakers from everyone else. They never fill silence with unnecessary words. When Harvey Specter makes a point in any boardroom scene, he states his position clearly, then stops speaking. The silence that follows is not awkward, it is commanding. It forces others to respond to his authority rather than dismiss his words. Your voice should project the quiet confidence of someone who has been making important decisions for decades. This means eliminating uncertain phrases like, "I think maybe," or "you know what I mean." Elite men make statements, not suggestions. They express certainties, not possibilities. In environments where your recommendations determine million-dollar decisions, your voice becomes your signature of competence. Master this and watch how differently people respond to your ideas, your requests, and your presence. But vocal authority without intellectual substance is simply noise with better acoustics. The third rule ensures that when you speak, you have something worth hearing. Rule 3. Cultivate the intellectual currency of power. While most men discuss weekend plans and sports scores, elite men trade in intellectual currency that opens doors to conversations that matter. When you can discuss the architectural significance of Tadao Ando concrete work, or explain why certain Bordeaux vintages command astronomical prices, you signal that you move in circles where such knowledge is expected, not impressive. This is not about becoming a walking encyclopedia. This is about developing genuine fascination with subjects that sophisticated people find engaging. The relationship between geopolitics and luxury markets, the craftsmanship traditions that justify premium pricing, the historical contexts that give objects and experiences their cultural significance. When someone mentions visiting the new Aman resort in Tokyo, you should be able to contribute insights about Japanese hospitality philosophy and how it influences modern luxury service. When conversation turns to Swiss watchmaking, you should understand not just brand hierarchies, but the technical innovations that justify $50,000 complications. Already noticed that in truly exclusive environments, no one discusses how much things cost. Instead, conversations revolve around quality, provenance, craftsmanship, and the stories behind exceptional objects and experiences. This is the language of inherited wealth and cultivated taste. Develop informed opinions on architecture, wine, art markets, and cultural movements. Read publications like Monocle, Wallpaper, and Financial Times luxury supplements. Attend gallery openings, wine tastings, and cultural events where these subjects are discussed naturally. The goal is not to impress others with your knowledge. The goal is to contribute meaningfully to conversations that separate boardrooms from break rooms, private members' clubs from public spaces, and inner circles from outer observations. Yet intellectual sophistication without visual authority is like wisdom spoken in whispers. Rule 4 ensures your appearance matches your insights. You want to be remembered, not just noticed, correct? Rule 4. Master the art of invisible luxury. Tom Ford understands something that most men never learn. True luxury whispers so quietly that only those who matter can hear it. When he appears at Fashion Week events wearing perfectly tailored pieces with no visible logos, he communicates something far more powerful than any designer label could announce. His taste is so refined that he needs no external validation. This principle separates those who wear expensive clothing from those who embody sophisticated style. Quiet luxury is about muted colors and flawless tailoring, where everything is impeccably made, but nothing screams for attention. The goal is for people to think, this man has exceptional taste, without being able to identify specific brands or price points. Here is what changes everything. Fit trumps fabric. Proportion matters more than price, and subtlety commands more respect than spectacle. When you enter the dining room at Claridge in London, wearing a perfectly fitted charcoal suit with hand-rolled edges and natural shoulder construction, you communicate breeding and education without saying a word. Your suit should be tailored to perfection, sleeve length showing exactly 1/4 inch of shirt cuff, trouser break creating a slight fold on your shoe, jacket length covering your posterior but not extending beyond your knuckles. These details separate Savile Row sophistication from off-the-rack mediocrity. Invest in 3 impeccably fitted suits rather than 10 decent ones. Choose fabrics that age beautifully. Wool from mills like Loro Piana or Ermenegildo Zegna, cotton from Swiss or Italian weavers, leather goods from heritage houses that have been perfecting their craft for generations. While most men focus on looking expensive, you will learn to look indispensable. The difference is that expensive can be bought, indispensable must be earned. But even the most sophisticated wardrobe cannot compensate for one critical oversight that instantly reveals someone as an outsider. Rule 5 addresses the details that separate those who belong from those who are still learning. Rule 5. Navigate social rituals with inherited grace. In private dining rooms at establishments like the French Laundry or 11 Madison Park, something remarkable happens. The truly sophisticated never pause to consider which fork to use or how to signal the sommelier. Their movements flow with the natural grace of someone who has been navigating such environments since childhood. This is not about memorizing etiquette rules. This is about embodying the social rituals that separate those with breeding from those with just buying power. When you automatically tear bread into small pieces rather than biting directly from the roll, you signal cultural education. When you properly hold a wine glass by the stem and never gesture with it in your hand, you communicate understanding of wine appreciation traditions. But here is what most etiquette guides never explain. These rituals exist to identify members of the same tribe. When a maître at Le Bernardin watches you properly navigate a 7-course tasting menu without hesitation, he categorizes you as someone who belongs in such environments regularly, not occasionally. Elite dining behavior includes keeping your mobile phone completely absent from the table, waiting for everyone to be served before beginning, and using utensils from the outside in without looking down to confirm your choices. These behaviors should flow as naturally as breathing, signaling that fine dining is not a special occasion for you, but a regular occurrence. Master the art of wine conversation, understanding basic tasting notes, knowing major regions and vintages, and being able to discuss why certain pairings enhance both food and wine. This knowledge opens doors to private wine collections, exclusive tastings, and invitations to experiences that money cannot buy. When your social behavior consistently demonstrates sophistication, people naturally assume you belong in their most exclusive environments. They stop questioning your credentials and start including you in their most important occasions. Yet social grace, without commanding physical presence, is like perfect grammar in a forgettable conversation. Rule 6 ensures your non-verbal communication matches your cultural sophistication. Do you want to command attention or simply receive it? Rule 6. Master nonverbal communication. The Commands Respect research conducted at Harvard Business School reveals something fascinating. Handshakes and eye contact patterns can predict business success with remarkable accuracy. But this is not about following textbook guidelines. This is about understanding that every physical interaction either elevates your status or diminishes it. When you enter environments where invitations are rare and doors do not open for everyone, your handshake becomes your seal of entry. Execute it incorrectly, and no one invites you twice. The elite handshake combines firm pressure that matches the other person's strength, sustained eye contact throughout the entire interaction, and precise timing of exactly 2 to 3 seconds. Eye contact serves as your signature of confidence and social intelligence. People who maintain appropriate eye contact during conversations are perceived as more charismatic, more trustworthy, and more deserving of inclusion in important discussions. But this is not staring. This is engaged attention that communicates respect and interest. Your body language should project the quiet certainty of someone who has never questioned their right to occupy premium spaces. Stand with your weight evenly distributed, shoulders relaxed but not slouched, hands positioned naturally without nervous gestures or defensive positioning. Master the art of mirroring without mimicry. When someone leans forward during conversation, you can subtly mirror their posture to build connection. When they speak quietly, you can match their volume to create intimacy. These techniques build rapport subconsciously while maintaining your authoritative presence. In boardrooms, where your recommendations influence major decisions, your non-verbal communication becomes as important as your verbal contributions. People must believe you belong in such environments before they will trust your judgment on important matters. But physical presence without intellectual authority is merely attractive packaging around empty contents. Rule 7 ensures you develop interests that naturally connect you with people who control access to exclusive experiences. Rule 7. Develop interests that open elite circles. While most men spend leisure time consuming entertainment, elite men invest leisure time in pursuits that build cultural capital and create valuable connections. Bernard Arnault's collection of vintage Patek Philippe timepieces worth over $500,000 each is not just personal pleasure. It connects him with other serious collectors, auction houses, and the cultural networks that surround exceptional craftsmanship. This principle extends beyond expensive hobbies. When you develop genuine expertise in wine appreciation, you gain access to private tastings, vineyard tours, and conversations with vintners who create the most sought-after bottles. When you understand classical music composition and performance, you receive invitations to private concerts, backstage meetings, and cultural events where business relationships form naturally. Choose 2 or 3 sophisticated interests and pursue them with genuine passion. Horology and the mechanical complications that justify 6-figure timepieces, architecture and the design principles that create iconic buildings, or wine and the terroir factors that produce legendary vintages. These interests naturally connect you with people who control access to exclusive experiences. The goal is not to become an expert collector who spends enormous amounts of money. The goal is to develop sufficient knowledge and appreciation that you can contribute meaningfully to conversations in these areas. When someone mentions visiting Burgundy, you should understand the difference between Grand Cru and Premier Cru classifications. When they discuss their new Patek Philippe, you should recognize the significance of its complications and craftsmanship. These conversations happen in private jets, exclusive clubs, and invitation-only events where business opportunities and social connections intersect. Your refined interests become your passport to environments where true power operates. But sophisticated interests without personal discipline create an unconvincing performance. Rule 8 builds the foundation that supports everything else. Have you ever wondered why some men instantly command service while others wait to be noticed? Rule 8. Maintain grooming standards that signal success. In 2025, elite men understand that exceptional grooming communicates something that goes far beyond basic hygiene. It signals respect for yourself, for others, and for the importance of every interaction. This is about maintaining standards that make a Maître Cipriani recognize you before asking your name. Your skin should appear healthy and well-maintained through consistent use of quality products that work with your natural biology. Invest in professional skincare consultations that analyze your specific needs rather than using generic drugstore products. Your hair should be cut and styled by professionals who understand sophisticated, timeless looks rather than trendy styles that quickly become dated. Attention to details separates those who belong in exclusive environments from those who are visiting them. Perfectly trimmed fingernails, fresh breath maintained throughout long business dinners, subtle cologne application that enhances rather than announces your presence, and facial hair maintained with precision, whether clean-shaven or carefully groomed. These standards should remain consistent whether you are attending a charity gala at the Metropolitan Opera or running weekend errands in your neighborhood. Elite men never compromise their standards based on circumstances because they understand that reputation is built through consistency, not performance. Your grooming should enhance your natural features while communicating that you maintain high standards in all areas of life. The goal is for people to think you look exceptionally polished without being able to identify specific efforts or products. This creates the impression that such standards are natural for you, not manufactured for occasions. When your grooming consistently demonstrates sophistication, people subconsciously categorize you as someone who belongs in their finest establishments, most important meetings, and most exclusive social occasions. But impeccable grooming without inner confidence is like perfect packaging around an empty box. Rule 9 activates everything you have built. Rule 9. Project authority that never needs to announce itself. Power poses and confident body language research reveals something crucial. True confidence is not performed for audiences. It is embodied for yourself. When you enter a room at the Union Club in New York, you do not scan for approval or recognition. You move with the natural assurance of someone who has never questioned their right to be wherever they choose to be. Elite confidence incorporates an inner certainty that manifests in every interaction, contributing to conversations without dominating them, listening actively and responding thoughtfully, disagreeing respectfully without becoming defensive, and handling mistakes gracefully rather than making excuses. This confidence allows you to ask intelligent questions rather than pretending to understand topics beyond your expertise. It enables you to admit when you do not know something rather than bluffing unsuccessfully. It gives you the security to celebrate others' accomplishments without feeling diminished by their success. Quiet authority never needs to prove itself through volume, aggression, or attention-seeking behavior. Instead, it demonstrates itself through competence, consideration, and consistent reliability. People naturally want to include you in their plans and seek your opinions on important matters because they trust your judgment and value your presence. When you project this level of confidence, something remarkable happens. Servers approach you with immediate respect. Business associates defer to your expertise, and social contacts naturally position you at the center of important conversations. They assume you add value to any situation before you even speak. Yet confidence without competence creates a facade that eventually crumbles under scrutiny. Rule 10 ensures you have genuine substance behind your sophisticated presentation. While others try to appear knowledgeable about everything, what should you master instead? Rule 10. Develop unquestionable expertise in your domain. Elon Musk commands attention when discussing rocket engineering, not because of his wealth, but because his expertise is undeniable. Warren Buffett influences global financial markets through his investment insights because decades of proven success have established his authority. Elite men are never generalists trying to appear smart about everything. They develop deep, genuine mastery in their chosen fields and speak with earned authority on topics within their domain. Choose your professional area and become genuinely exceptional at it. Not just competent enough to perform your job responsibilities, but excellent enough to influence industry conversations and shape important decisions. This requires reading specialized publications, attending advanced seminars, seeking mentorship from established authorities, and developing insights that add genuine value to high-level discussions. When people recognize your expertise, they naturally defer to your judgment in related areas, seek your opinion on complex matters, include you in strategic discussions, and recommend you for premium opportunities. This creates a foundation of respect that extends beyond your specific field into your general social and business interactions. But expertise must be demonstrated appropriately. Elite men know when to share their knowledge and when to remain silent. They never show off their expertise inappropriately, but they confidently contribute insights when their knowledge can add genuine value to important conversations. Your expertise becomes your ticket to rooms where critical decisions are made, exclusive opportunities are discussed, and valuable relationships are formed. Without it, you remain an observer. With it, you become an indispensable participant. The next rule addresses something that separates the truly sophisticated from those still learning the codes of power. Rule 11. Practice strategic relationship investment. Elite men understand that generosity is not about giving money. It is about creating value for people who matter through attention, opportunities, strategic introductions, and genuine investment in others' success. This is how you build networks that open doors money cannot buy. Strategic relationship investment means remembering important details about people you meet, following up on conversations with relevant articles or connections, offering genuine assistance when you can provide it without expecting immediate returns, and celebrating others' achievements authentically and publicly. When you consistently add value to others' lives through thoughtful gestures and strategic support, you build a network of people who appreciate your presence and actively want to reciprocate. This creates opportunities for elite treatment, as influential people genuinely want to include you in their exclusive events and important decisions. But this goes deeper than tactical networking. Elite men demonstrate authentic interest in other people's goals, challenges, and perspectives. They ask questions that show they have been listening to previous conversations. They remember personal details that matter to people. They follow through on commitments consistently and reliably. This approach creates relationships based on mutual respect rather than transactional exchange. When people trust you to add value to their important occasions, they naturally include you in environments where elite treatment is the standard, not the exception. Strategic generosity also means knowing when and how to accept generosity from others gracefully, without appearing desperate for assistance, but with gratitude that acknowledges the value of what is being offered. Finally, the rule that integrates everything else and ensures lasting elite treatment rather than temporary impressions. Rule 12. Maintain unwavering standards, regardless of circumstances. Many business elites treat their personal brand as seriously as their professional reputation, understanding that consistency creates trust and predictability builds relationships. Elite men maintain the same high standards whether they are dining alone at a neighborhood bistro or attending a state dinner at the White House. This consistency creates a personal reputation that people can rely on completely. When someone knows you always maintain sophisticated standards, they feel confident, including you in their most important occasions, trusting you to represent their values appropriately, and introducing you to their most valuable connections. Unwavering standards mean having clear principles about behavior you will and will not accept from yourself and from others. Elite men handle conflicts with dignity rather than drama, maintain their composure under pressure rather than losing control, and honor their commitments regardless of changing circumstances. When your standards remain consistently high across all situations, people notice the discipline required to maintain such consistency. They naturally categorize you as someone who belongs in their highest quality environments and most exclusive opportunities because they trust your judgment and behavior completely. This rule ties all the others together. Your posture remains aristocratic whether you are in a boardroom or a coffee shop. Your voice maintains its authority whether addressing colleagues or service staff. Your grooming stays impeccable whether attending galas or running errands. Your confidence never wavers based on your audience or environment. The silent revolution. When you consistently apply these 12 rules, something extraordinary happens that goes beyond better treatment or increased respect. You begin to embody the qualities that separate those who are born into privilege from those who earn their way into exclusive circles. People stop questioning whether you belong in elite environments. They assume you do. Servers approach you with immediate deference. Business associates seek your approval before making important decisions. Social contacts naturally position you at the center of their most significant occasions. These rules do not make you appear elegant. They make you be treated as someone who was born understanding power. When you master all 12 elements, you will notice that people begin listening to you differently, treating you differently, and including you in conversations and opportunities that were previously inaccessible. Have you ever noticed that in restaurants where reservations require months of waiting and tables cost more than most people earn in a week, nobody needs to show their bank statements to receive royal treatment? The transformation is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about becoming the most sophisticated version of who you already are. It is about understanding that elegance is not inherited, it is cultivated. And it is about recognizing that in a world where anyone can buy expensive things, only a few understand how to embody genuine sophistication. If you are ready to transform how the world perceives and treats you, if you want to command the respect that elite men receive naturally, if you want people to assume you belong in their most exclusive spaces without question, then subscribe to Man of Elegance and activate notifications. Every video provides the precise tools to transform your presence into power. Leave a like if these 12 rules revealed something you had not considered before. In the comments, write "Standards equal respect" if you commit to implementing these principles consistently rather than selectively. Consider joining our exclusive membership community starting at $4.99 monthly by clicking the Become a Member button. Members receive additional content designed specifically for men who refuse to accept mediocre treatment in any area of their lives. These 12 rules are not suggestions for men who want to appear successful. They are requirements for men who intend to be treated as indispensable. Master them with precision or continue watching from the sidelines while others command the stage. The codes are clear. The choice is yours. Welcome to the world where elegance becomes power and power opens every door that matters.